Reflections on my journey. This email I'm about to share made me pause and reflect where I come from today and how I got here. Some time ago, I received a message from email inviting me to become a contributor, writing articles about neighborhood development. I was and still am deeply honored by this recognition, as only a selective number of professionals are given this particular status. As a matter of fact, the email I'm about to read is someone from LinkedIn that saw my profile and researched me. My journey in neighborhood transformation began in Baltimore. I grew up on the West Side, one of the most violent neighborhoods in the nation, depicted in films and shows like The Wire, The Corner, and Homicide, Life on the Street. I witnessed countless programs and projects that were supposed to come and help the community, yet they remain, yet the community remained unchanged. Out of that experience, I discovered my purpose to learn everything I could and use that knowledge to help me transform neighborhoods. As I did, I studied and absorbed lessons from lenders, investors, developers, universities, and national think tanks, building a toolbox of strategies and practices to drive real lasting change. Okay, let's dive into the email. So it came on November the 20th, and it starts by Dear Mr. Randolph. I hope this message find you well. Person mentions their name. Give me 1 second while I try to adjust something in the background. And they say, I recently came across your profile on LinkedIn while researching senior leaders in nonprofit and community development and economic empowerment. As I'm currently exploring projects related to social impact strategies, community development, and economic empowerment. I'm currently exploring projects related to social impact strategy, community investment models, and organizational capacity build, building, organization building. Your background immediately stood out to me. I'm truly impressed by your leadership as Chief Executive Officer of the Center for Nonprofit and Community Development, guiding an, organiz- guiding an organization since 2007. Guiding an organization since 2007 reflects a great, deep commitment to advancing community growth, strengthening neighborhood ecosystems, and supporting underserved population through strategic and capacity development. Your work as the CEO for the National Institute for Strategic and Tactical Insight. Okay, let me back up. Your long-standing work as the CEO of the National Institute of Strategic Planning highlights your experience in designing frameworks that help community organizations and leaders build long-term reliance. Your focus on strategies, implementation, and measurable impact demonstrate, demonstrates a thoughtful and result oriented style. As noted, give me 1 second while I play in the background so I can see this. As noted, your earlier role as the development of economic development with the West Tampa City C. Okay, let me go back up. It says, I also noted your earlier role as Director of Economic Development with the West Tampa City CDC, supporting local economic advancement and small business development and community revitalization. Let me back up one more second. Supporting local economic advancement, small business development, and community revitalization requires both insight and dedication, and your work has contributed to a meaningful improvement within the region. Let's continue to read this. Okay, let me see. This will go to the next page. Here we go. Let's continue to read. Give me 1 second. I'm working in the background so I can see what I'm reading. All right, that being said, your previous experience as Deputy Director of the Self-Motivated Community Building People Real Center, CDC, and the Federal Empowerment Zone further illustrates your commitment to community transformation. Working within Federal Empowerment Zone requires a deep understanding of policy, resource allocation, and local engagement, all of which reinforce your credibility as a community development leader. Your professional journey reflects a powerful combination of nonprofit leadership, economic development experience, and a lifetime commitment to community empowerment. It has inspired my interest in learning more about effective models for sustainable neighborhood development and strategic nonprofit growth. If your schedule, if your schedule allows, I would be honored to have an opportunity to connect and learn from your insight. Should you ever visit San Francisco, I will be delighted to invite you to a cup of coffee and exchange perspectives in person. If you do not mind, please feel free to share your phone number or WhatsApp to communicate for communication may be easier. Thank you very much for taking the time to read my message. I wish you continued success in your work with the Center for Nonprofit and Community Development, and your work with the National Institute and Strategic Planning. So it's true. I do have a second nonprofit on the Institute for Strategic and Tactical Planning that works in tandem with the Center for Nonprofit and Community Development. In fact, I have a think tank on Facebook on my Center for Nonprofit page. It's called A New School and Next Generation Approach, where your critical thinkers and intellectual thinkers come from around the country to engage in conversation about our community development, especially new school and next generation approach. And of course, you can always tie into that and be part of a national conversation. But I had to stop for a second and reflect. This email really inspired me today. Um, and I'm always doing a lot of stuff, but when I saw this email, I had to stop, reflect, and I said, wow, yeah, let me share this with the rest of the nation. So thank you to whoever this person is for giving me my flowers while I'm here.